Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. Welcome back, guys. We are here for yet another update in the markets. And yeah, some interesting things afoot. DJII seems to be pushing up to fresh highs in this area at least. And Bitcoin pulled back just a touch today, but the uptrend still looks intact. It certainly seems to still be outperforming alts in most of the markets right now. So I think Bitcoin's still looking strong. Major markets still dipping. Still kind of very, very curious, maybe even unsettling conditions on the markets. So I really wonder what comes next. We're going to try and tackle that in today's episode. Alex, of course, unfortunately isn't with us today, guys. So I think his internet's having issues. Alex, big shout outs to you. Hope you come back to us. Feel free to join us midstream if it is indeed internet related. But we got Jason with us this Tuesday afternoon.
You guys are stuck with me.
Indeed.
Gosh darn it.
It's all Jason all the time here on the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. We got some cool new things coming though to the show, guys. We are going to be restructuring.
I'm really weirded out by how much I bounce.
No, we have to. Well,
might have to calm the autism down a little bit when I get on screen.
Well, you know, I think the show is already plenty, or you know, it could use a bit of a bounce in itself, right? Could use a little more energy. Maybe Jason bouncing.
That's that optimistic thinking I love.
There you go. Maybe Jason bouncing around on his exercise ball during the course of the show. Might get the people pumped on Tuesday afternoons like this. You know, I rock you to sleep on Mondays. Jason pumps you back up on Tuesdays. All right.
Wear you guys out on a yoga ball.
There you go. But it might be a good, well, it might be good to sit on, at least according to your chiropractor.
I had to switch from a chair to this because my legs kept going numb. I've been using this for about 1.5 years now, and I love it. Besides this or a standing desk, that's the way to go.
Yep, gotta love the standing desk for sure. I think I gotta incorporate the
my abs back, baby.
the yoga ball routine. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. We do have some interesting news to get into. Well, actually, to be honest with you, kind of a slow news day as well. But whatever, we'll keep it cash. We will kick it. We'll kick it for another 60 minutes or so. Get into the markets, a bit of news. You know, the usual routine. Shout out our audience, give away some lemons, all that stuff. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to make a slight adjustment. Turn my audio down a little bit to match more in line with Jason's volume. Let me see here. Man, is that too low? No, I think that might be pretty good actually. So let's go ahead.
Let us know, people. Do we match? Or one of us too loud? Is one of us too quiet?
I think the two of us are spot on right now. Big shout outs to everybody in the audience. I think we're looking pretty good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Got a couple of news items I want to cover today. There was just a touch more, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear and a little casual today, like I said. First piece comes from Finbold, titled "Bitcoin has 3x higher average trading volume in October than Apple, Microsoft, or Amazon." All right, so
12 days.
Let's see here. Bitcoin increasingly becoming a formidable competitor in key traditional financial players across key metrics like trading volume. Data provided by Finbold by cryptocurrency trading simulator CryptoParrot indicates Bitcoin recorded an average trading volume of about 36.7 billion. I mean, I don't know. A lot of this is wash trading. What I'm curious about though is are Bitcoin volumes up? Right, like are just the volumes down in traditionals, and this is just average, you know, kind of more or less average volumes, or have volumes picked up?
Well, that's the thing. They just stated in October, so that's over 12 days. And over the last 12 days, traditionals have been getting hit quite hard, considering what the DJI's doing. But Bitcoin's been kind of bucking that trend, so this would make sense. It's not really a crazy thing.
Nothing too remarkable, but let's see this little infographic here. Average trading volume, select the stocks versus Bitcoin. Yes, for basically 12 days. Chart shows average trading volume billion USD by asset when calculating average trading volume, 2.5 higher than Tesla's. Blah blah blah. I mean, this is really a stretch. Good thing we don't have Alex on the show. He would probably be blowing this Finbold piece out of the water right about now. But again, it's a bit of a slow news day. maybe I'll hop into my chart in just a moment. I'm going to turn my Minx off for a second. I'm going to flip Bitcoin to the weekly. And just bear with me one real second here. Oops. Just curious, what do volumes look like on Bitcoin and Bybit, or on the market in general? SHIB naturally has had a huge spike. Alright, nothing too remarkable here at first glance. Something maybe we'll check back later, but let's go ahead and get into another piece here. Here's one from U.Today, and it concerns SHIB, which of course SHIB is one of the tokens bucking the market right now. I feel that Bitcoin is too. Bitcoin is seemingly outpacing alts. Kind of like last week's analysis was kind of spelling out. And but there's one alt seems to be bucking damn near every trend, including Bitcoin. SHIB getting more mentions on Twitter than Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge. SHIB is now the most frequently mentioned crypto in the top 10 most frequent mentioned coins on Twitter, surpassing all the major boys. Yes, the ADAs, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, you name it.
You name it.
Doge is on fire right now, and I've noticed this everywhere I go on crypto Twitter and on the internet now. Yeah, SHIB is it's
you said Doge.
Oh, damn. Well, whatever.
It's
it's what I meant, I guess, is it's the new Doge. There's a new Doge in town. It goes by the name of SHIB. So you've been warned. This is, you know, if you underestimated the Doge pump, I guess, don't underestimate the SHIB pump. And yet, I will still have, you know, I'll partake of neither. So there you have it. Let's get into another piece or so here. Big shout out to anybody in the audience kicking it with us this Tuesday afternoon. I'll check it in with you guys in a minute. But in the meantime, let's get into this piece here from the Block Crypto. Coinbase announces NFT waitlist, and it follows a lead of rivals from Binance and FTX. Let's have a look. The crypto exchange announced Tuesday that the release of a waiting list for Coinbase's NFT is coming. Start, it will offer users the ability to mint, purchase, and showcase their NFTs. Wow, say it ain't so. NFT coming to Coinbase now. Well, no surprise there.
I think everyone's gonna try to get their fingers in on that, right?
Now it's become super clear. This is one of the hottest commodities in this space in a while, right? This is the new hotcake, new slice of bread of crypto. Here you go, NFTs. People want it, especially Coinbase.
If you go back in the shows, probably over a year ago or whatever, I definitely said a while ago I think NFTs are going to be like the next boom, and here we are. I mean, look at them. They're cycling so much Ethereum, it's crazy.
Coinbase is breaking into the market for non-fungible tokens, announcing Tuesday that the waitlist to access Coinbase for access to the Coinbase NFT marketplace, making it the latest crypto firm to dive into the speculative frenzy. The new offering, which is being spearheaded by Coinbase's VP of Product, will allow users to mint, purchase, and showcase NFTs. To start, it'll support Ethereum-based NFTs, but it has plans to expand to other chains after it launches. Damn, this is pretty big. Having Coinbase turn also into an NFT portal. There's a little preview on screen here, I think, of what it's going to look like. Coinbase NFT, as you can see. And here's the display. It's basically OpenSea, slightly repackaged for Coinbase. Very cool. Very bullish, I think, development for NFTs. Our ambition for Coinbase NFT, says Coinbase, is everyone to benefit from their creative spark. To contribute to a future where creator economy isn't just a small subset of the real economy, but a central driver, Coinbase said in their marketing materials. According to the spokeswoman, the platform will utilize self-custody wallets, and as a result will not require users to go through KYC checks with the exchange in the same way that its brokerage clients need to in order to trade crypto. The firm would not disclose fees, but plans to share those details close to the official launch of the platform. NFTs have become the zeitgeist of the crypto market, with headline-making NFTs like Beeple selling for tens of millions of dollars. That excitement has cooled recently, with weekly NFT trade volumes cooling down significantly from their peak. Yes, we do know that the NFT market has cooled down, but now competition is heating up, at least in among the exchanges. Coinbase is throwing its hat into the ring that's growing more competitive. Crypto exchange FTX.US announced on Monday that a full-fledged launch of its marketplace for Solana-based NFTs is coming soon. Binance has also offered its own Binance NFT platform, which the firm aims to bring aims to build into, quote, the largest NFT trading platform in the world. Yeah, fat chance. It makes sense that exchanges want a piece of the non-fungible action. OpenSea, which clinched unicorn status in a recent funding round, has seen its volume surge as users flock to the platform to flip CryptoPunks and pudgy penguins. Data from the block shows OpenSea saw more than 2.7 billion in trading volume last month. Insane. Like how much
crazy?
Wow. Trading volume does Uniswap see? Uniswap monthly trading volume. I didn't spell that very neatly, but that's, Google's good at correcting. Uniswap processed 15 billion monthly volume in September. This is back in 2020. It might be even, is $1 billion a day in volume the new normal for Uniswap? All right, so Uniswap does about $1 billion a day at least, but OpenSea is doing about $2 billion a day. Very, very impressive. Goes to show you that OpenSea is swinging on a big level. There's a lot of people.
Come on, pump my NFTs. Pump my NFTs, baby.
Yep. There's some other bullish news I heard. You know, this is actually the last news article I had lined up for today, so we still have a generous amount of time left. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Bear with me one sec. Yeah, that's very true. Well, let's see here. What was this about? Let me recall here. Yesterday I heard breaking news that Visa and OpenSea. Nothing came of this search. No. All right, let's go to Visa.
The CryptoPunk they bought, right?
No, actually, Visa planning to bring, or I should say, OpenSea is planning to bring Visa checkout to the platform. So right now, there's a huge kind of hurdle to getting your NFT on, right? Because you got to get MetaMask, you got to know how cryptos work, you got to figure out how to get your hands on some Ethereum,
and then that hard. Oh, I guess to someone who's never done it.
Exactly, precisely.
Process.
And so imagine that person being able to just go, oh, Visa, eh? Whip out the friggin'
going to OpenSea and using Visa.
Yep, go to OpenSea and just put it all on the Amex or something, and mofos will be piling in, right? I think it'll be a great on ramp. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, look at the volume that they're trading already. If they open up another payment avenue, that's only going to add more.
Yeah, it would be
especially
insane.
For people that are wanting to get their hands in, because when they see this much like traffic, this many gains, like it makes people just FOMO like crazy. So, I mean, it's definitely a good on ramp, but I don't know if it's going to end up helping a lot of the people that use it.
Indeed, but it's still be an on ramp, and it's one way to get money into the ecosystem. All right, well, why can't I access Twitter here? Maybe this browser isn't working, but after looking at Google for some results, not much is coming up. So maybe yesterday what I read on Twitter was fake news, because I suspected it might have been. But nonetheless, if that does inevitably does eventually show up, the ability for OpenSea to somehow process Visa payment cards and then deposit the NFT in someone's wallet, be epic.
So like what I want to know is, so like within OpenSea and stuff, don't you need that wallet identity in order to send it to it and then have that proof on the blockchain? Like, what do they make a wallet for you and give it to you?
No, I presume, maybe they'll come with some kind of custodial wallet on their site. But no, like, you pretty much have to interact with MetaMask, right? So you would you would still need MetaMask, but I guess your MetaMask could be, an empty wallet. It could be a freshly generated wallet just for the purposes of signing in and interacting with OpenSea. And then you'd pick your icon or your NFT that you're looking to purchase. Yes, you're picking your NFT that you want to buy, and then it would just process the payment through their payment processing. So the seller would get their crypto. It would all get routed through neatly, and you as the end user would have this NFT deposited in your wallet, right? So there'd be no ETH in there, I guess, for you to do anything else, but you'd figure that out later. So, but again, I'm not really.
Like, they just need to be able to prove it on the blockchain, right? Like, if you were just to come in without any kind of wallet and just pay with a card, like that wouldn't really work necessarily. But I'm sure it's exactly as you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I presume that's what it'd be obligated after making the payment to take delivery of it in a MetaMask wallet that you can kind of at least say, yes, I know you know, I have set up a wallet, I have backed it up. Please give me the thing I just paid for, right? And then they send it to your wallet. But I'm not really seeing much in the news or anything on this topic, so maybe it was pure fake news I read yesterday. So let's ignore that little segue there. Right. Let me see here. Anything else really interesting to cover? Maybe I will hop into the live chat very briefly, see who's kicking it with us this afternoon. We have Ron Legato with us on YouTube. Big shout out to you, Mr. Ron Legato. Daniel on YouTube as well. Any word on DLAP? Anyone find out what the crypto dollar vigilante pick was? Someone DM'd it to me. I think BFlow or someone DM'd it to me. What was the pick? I gotta go look. Franklin MC, good morning, everyone. Big shout outs to Franklin MC. ETH1, hi, everyone. All right, big hi to you. Golden Miner on D-Line, big shout outs to you. Simps on YouTube. Big shouts to you on, or is it Simpson YouTube? Simpson YouTube. Good morning to you on DLive. Crypto Bull on YouTube. Big shouts to you. ETH1, let the show begin. Indeed. Lots of sideways, the global supply chain issue, and more. You know, I could actually probably, you know, in terms of news, I'm certain we could probably dive into what's going on kind of in the wider world. And indeed, market's kind of uneasy given what's going on.
On your mind, bud.
Well, just the supply crisis, right? You know, the markets themselves are very weak right now. We've obviously been watching it, we're commenting. We just kind of look at it from the perspective of the charts, right? We don't really necessarily look at like the macro news and goings on in the world. But if you do,
I mean, I can make assumptions that I believe news is coming, right?
Yeah.
Like when I look at a chart pattern and I can see, all right, well, I mean, yes, we are marching up, but I also see weakness in that we have made no retracements back to clear any kind of white space, which is not very common for a steadily growing parabolic move. So like when I look at the charts, it does make me kind of wonder like what kind of news was coming here. And a lot of that stuff that you've been talking about, the Evergrande stuff in China, as well as the debt ceiling and stuff like that, I think that it's not coincidence that it's coming up right up into this pattern, right?
Indeed. And as someone points out here, no workers on the docks to unload anything. Unemployment numbers are dropping every month. And someone else pointed out that, where was it? You know, I have been, you know, following that, like in some places now, some empty shelves, not enough workers to even stock them or to get the goods to the supermarket. Some empty, you know, fuel pumps are dry fuel in some places. And this could be coming, maybe economic conditions might be coming to somewhere near you soon, even if they are in isolated places right now. So, you know, maybe a lot of people, the reason the market and the charts, traditionals especially, look kind of funky and troubled is because, well, maybe the economy is actually, you know, it's battered. It's been a challenging, 18 months or more. Economy looking pretty bruised. Let me read a couple more comments. Maybe I'll try to find another news item or so, but let's have a look here. Doge GF times 20 from here. What in God's name is Doge GF? Shoutouts to Sean88, but yeah, Doge's girlfriend. Well, that's not a bad meme. I mean, you know, if you're gonna expand on the ultimate meme coin, maybe a meme on top of the meme.
Might as well be his boyfriend.
Doge's girlfriend, right? So,
Or
all right, so I get it. His and hers meme tokens. Is that what this is? I'm not too sure, but shout out to Shot88. ETH1. Can we look at Kusama? Hang tight. I'll add Kusama to the request line in a bit. Let's see here. Switching it up. I'm not sure what that refers to. Apes Assemble, says Lambo Dreams in the DLM chat. Well, the apes indeed are going to assemble into some kind of King Kong shaped Megazord. What do you think, Jason?
Bring on the Megazord.
I think we're onto something here. You know, we got to remix the Power Rangers with apes, and then when we truly ape in on the project, we assemble into Megazord bag holders.
Oh yeah, Megazord hodlers that just ruin their portfolios.
Yes.
Right, those bitches down to all-time lows.
Thankfully, we got Zordon here to advise on management. Let's keep it going. Lambo Dreams fiscal flows down to 70.
What was his name again? It was Zordon, and then
Master Splinter. I don't know.
No, he had a little like a spaceship for a head. like a little flying saucer, and he was a robot.
Right. The comedic effect, housekeeper, Zordon's housekeeper. Yeah, I don't remember who the fuck that guy.
I'll think of it. What is
Excuse
it,
my language.
mate?
That one I won't remember, but it was a miracle.
Alpha 5.
Who?
Alpha
5.
It's Alpha 5. He always calls them on the watches, the Apple watches before their time. Beep beep boop beep beep.
All right, yo, you definitely recall a lot more details than I do. It's
I loved the Power Rangers when I was a kid.
I remember that was pretty hot IP.
31 years ago.
Jeez. Let's continue. Lambo Dreams in the DLive chat. Fiscal flows down 370 billion a month. This is lower than pre-pan levels. Not as supportive enough, especially with the stocks. So extended risk of a environment fascio. Risk off environment. Yes, for show is what he means. Yes, indeed, it is indeed kind of the what we saw in kind of leading up to the 2020 meltdown. Risk off, and surprisingly, Bitcoin edging up ahead of it. Is this just one big exit pump before the markets finally shit the bed sometime in October or later this year? I don't know. Why am I feeling so bullish? Crypto Bull 21 just glad I bought some SHIB instead of a few coffees a little while back. Yeah, that's smart money. Smart money would have aped into SHIB. Smart money would have known that this market's totally irrational, and don't sleep on a Doge killer that's going to offer all this other stuff. You know all the stuff these SHIBs.
I mean, like, what does Doge do? Like, what is used for, and who's killing its use?
It has its own chain, and it's just a currency. And SHIB is gonna bring DeFi and cool stuff. Like there's a bone token, and then there's like which is I think the governance token, and then there's like Paula or a leash. Yeah, leash token in the ecosystem. That does something. DeFi project, bro.
That does something.
Yeah. That's all I hear all day is Doge. Doge is worthless. Doge doesn't do anything. But SHIB, we got leash, we got bones, we got this token, we got that. We're gonna create like a whole thing. Oh my god, the amount of shilling of Doge I've seen in the last like couple weeks is uncanny. But with
wild.
That said,
like even going on like random apps. Like I'm an old person, I guess, because I use iPhone still, because it doesn't seem to be so weirdly tracking what I'm doing. But even like on obscure apps like that, every third thing you'll see is a SHIB. Like, here's your chance to get into SHIB, and then it's like very obscure exchanges and stuff that I've never even heard of. It's kind of crazy.
Indeed, like that article we covered a few minutes ago, the SHIB volumes are way up over everything in the market right now, especially in terms of mentions. And so I guess the grifting, it's gonna flock grifters like seagulls, right, to fresh garbage. So this is just how it goes. Crypto Bull 21, just glad I see that say that already. Crypto Bull 21, this was like 6 to 9 months ago. You know what? I'm a little glad too, just in case this thing does moon, that I earned a bunch of SHIB during a Crypto.com supercharger event, liquidity mining event. So I have a small bag of SHIB now. I think it mooned. I think it went from like 11 cents worth of SHIB to about 64 cents worth of SHIB. So I'm officially set, boys.
Awesome Nova.
Gonna biggie size my McChicken next time I'm there. Let's have a look here.
I don't think they supersize McChickens.
Shows you how much I know. All right. Let's have a look here. Lambo Dreams. That's like 1,000 copies now. Hell yeah. That's called being a wise investor. Crypto Cats. Hey, what's up, everyone? Big shout outs to you, Crypto Cats. I bought my first 2 NFTs today. Damn, Crypto Cats. What did you buy? Do let us know. Very curious what your first NFTs were. Crypto Bull 21. NFTs and taxes will be interesting. Well, it's gonna be a lot of people. Well, you know what? I predict a lot of this is gonna end in tears. So if anything, maybe you get a tax return out of it. Once you report to the government, you dumped your last few $1,000s of stimmy bucks into your SHIB play or your NFT play on OpenSea. We'll see how this next few weeks and months shakes out. Let's see here. Philly Car joins us on YouTube. Big shout outs to Philly Car over there in Manchester. Evening, fellas. Much love to Philly. Bacon Doge. Oh, what a name. Joins us on DLive. Bacon Doge. Not sure how those two really combine, but Crypto Bull 21, the charts will tell us what the news is coming. Yes. We're going to get to those charts in just a minute, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging in there today. Let's keep it rolling. Jag077, hello everyone. Well, big hello to Jag. And Jag, did you DM anybody in the server, particularly Mr. Ether, want to claim that prize you were awarded yesterday? Make sure you do. Big shout outs to Mr. Ether and Jag for that. Any word requesting Jag's email showing crypto dollar vigilante pick? Oh my god, you really want me to do that? Alright. No, I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it later. Jason won't tell us the specific news, but looking at the charts, my assumption would be bad news. Yes. Crypto Bull.
I mean, like, it won't be able to tell you specifically what news is coming, but when you look at the charts and you're like, all right, well, it would make a lot of sense for a large pullback here. What would be the catalyst for that? I mean, you can start assuming, but you can kind of get the sense that it's coming, like, especially if you just trade chart patterns. You're like, well, I bet some news is coming because this looks terrible. Right? The same thing that we've been seeing with like the traditional markets, because we've been saying they look weak forever, and here we are. They're down quite a bit.
Indeed. Bear with me 1 second here. Yeah, one thing I've observed as well, and this is yeah, unemployment numbers seemingly dropping. But as Crypto Bull here says, he left his job today. Well, congrats. That's depending on.
I hope that's good. I hope that's good news.
Exactly.
So congratulations.
Yep. Depending on the circumstances, that could be a congratulations. But we're seeing that en masse right now. Actually, a lot of people are departing their job, and we're seeing unemployment still dropping at the same time, as if people just don't want to look for work, aren't returning to the workforce, just kind of permanently dropping out.
But they're making their own jobs. Hopefully, they're all becoming traders.
I've seen this meme, and I've seen it across the U.S., and it's here in Canada too. Fast food joints are paying crazy bucks. They're paying like $15 an hour or more to get people to come in there, just do basic fast food work, because it's hard finding people to do anything right now. Labor is just kind of almost like a labor shortage, and now with these mandates coming into effect, a lot of people are saying no and they're walking away. And I mean, it's anecdotal. Anecdotally, I'm seeing a lot of reports of like nurses, doctors, police, ambulance, paramedics, I should say, and many other people, grocery clerks, many other people, walking away from the job based on the current mandates. So it's like we really are kind of, things are looking even uglier than they did even in March of 2020, right? There was a lot of uncertainty in March of 2020, but now, I don't know, the economy, this seems like whatever we've done to really throw the economy off its footing is really coming home in a roost now. So I guess duck and cover and make according just decide, plan accordingly, I guess is what I'm saying. We're gonna get into the charts to kind of maybe help you do that in just a minute. Let's shout out another person or two here, excuse me. Risk is good for crypto, Franklin MC. Let's see here, Crypto Cats. I have a Green Power Ranger full TV quality cosplay.
I really want to see that.
Green Power Ranger full TV. I mean, Green Power Ranger was dope at the time. I thought he was pretty cool. And then they got the white one in there.
They fiddle and called in a Tyrannosaurus.
Oh my god, he was hype. He would seem like such a badass, such a rogue.
Tommy, because Tommy became the White Ranger, the Green Ranger, he was like every other thing.
He was a total badass. Doesn't get much cooler than that. Crypto Cats cost me $1,200. Oh, the NFT. Well, congrats. Do let me know which one it is. In fact, DM me later if you like. Let's see. Yeah, we want to see that. Ryan Lu. All right, Ryan Lu Who is my Instagram. Gotcha. I will check you out on Instagram. I'm sure I'll give it a look. Anywhere crypto fear, greed index 78, extreme greed, ugly. There's more worthless coins at higher prices. Coinbase adoption is just crazy, says Crypto Bull. Indeed it is. 99% of crypto is a worthless scam. Certainly the right way to probably approach it. Mike Maker, Coinbase shills the shit out of SHIB. Yes, it certainly did. There's a lot of money to be made in the last while. I'm sure it boosted Q3 profits. Q3, Q4 profits at Coinbase. Numbers are going to really come in. The bonuses are going to be padded extra thick at Coinbase this holiday season. thanks to, I think, the runaway success of SHIB and listing that damn money grab on their platform. Ponzi games. Ponzi games indeed. CryptoBull 21, but the fees the exchange makes were a no-brainer, no doubt. Literally nothing being accomplished. Yes, this is a conversation I regularly have with people in the clouds. A lot of Twitter Spaces, a lot of Clubhouse events now have people seemingly making crazy unrealized P&L bank on NFTs, and they all think they're geniuses, and this is the new way forward. In fact, a lot of the NFT and a lot of conversations I'm bumping into now, including SHIB and other circles, it feels a lot like 17. It feels a lot like, oh my god, this technology's here, it's here to change the world, and we're all gonna be like free to work from home and make bank on stupid crypto investments. And then it all kind of probably comes unwinding down, and people kind of go back to real life, go back to reality, the way they do. Not everybody, obviously. Some people remain in the fixtures in the space, and they continue to work and build. Those people make it to the next cycle and then probably reap the rewards. But there's a lot of people who are just kind of Johnny-come-latelys, looking for quick gains, thinking that like just by showing up and you're just going to reap crazy gains, crazy rewards merely for participating. The market has a habit of washing these people out, wiping out all their gains because they didn't take any profits anywhere along the way, and we do it all over again. We go into a cycle, we do it all over again. Just how it goes. But indeed, I can see why the greed index is super high, and a lot of people are getting overconfident, and nothing is being accomplished. That's probably what rubs me the wrong way, right? It's like, if you're getting something for nothing, this is not be a big alarm bell, It's like, if everybody's getting rich, we're not really producing anything of substance. Like, how do you expect, this is how I feel about the SHIB guys. They're just like, oh my god, SHIB's gonna change their head, but what is it really gonna do? Like, how is it, no, just trust, it's gonna get to a penny. But why would it get to a penny? What is it really doing? Well, the main reason I hear from them is that, well, everybody said Doge wouldn't go to a penny, so SHIB has to go to a penny. Because if you say it's not going to, that's what you said about Doge, and look what it did. So shut up and let's go to a penny. And who knows, maybe they're right. Crypto Cats, I bought 2 Wooshis. All right, Omizago request from Lambo Dreams. We're gonna get into in just a minute. Thanks for everybody kicking it with us, very casual like, but we're actually gonna get into the charts finally. In the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to read the last few comments. Lambo Dreams, Monero, weekly cup and handle. All right, we'll check out Monero. Great thing, I put in 2 weeks and trained 3 people before leaving. Ah, yes. Well, at least, yes, maybe you've left under honorable conditions. You trained your replacements. Maybe your company will not fail. Look at you serving your community. Even without you there. Mike Maker. It's basically like Hank Hill. These are the troubling times where even Hank Hill leaves Strickland Propane. I hope you trained. Well, whatever. You've trained your
very experienced at selling the Wagner line.
These are troubling times. Make sure you got plenty of propane in stock. You're going to need a quality propane salesman to guide you through these times. Mike Maker, with inflation, not sure what $15 is going to do anything. Man, I heard something about crazy inflation numbers coming across the board in Germany today. We'll check that out in a minute. Mike Maker, automation is coming. Yeah, but automation, like, even still, what does that mean, automation's coming? Is that going to be some kind of solution to the human condition? What? Just because the robots are going to be making the McDonald's and the drones are going to deliver the Uber Eats directly to your couch? Does this solve really anything? Like, just because the economy doesn't crash, if we're all just sloths living on the Wall-E ship while the AI manages everything, does that sound like a promising future for humanity? Not for me, but indeed the automation is coming. The Pathos J, how are my favorite bears doing? Yes, you've indeed tuned into the bear channel. The bear knob is dialed. It's kind of always.
I wouldn't say it's the bear channel. I would say that it's.
Well, with Alex not here today, it's definitely not the bear channel. It's I've kind of.
I mean, I'll admit that I've been a little bearish here, but I mean, I can't really argue with what the current price action is happening. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe that a correction of the same magnitude could happen right behind it. But those are just levels that we'll just have to wait to see if they hold, right? Like I'll be pointing one out here in a little bit when we get to the charts, but it's kind of one of those things to where you can't really. I just don't know, and I would assume that like with what was Alex was saying yesterday on that continuation on Bitcoin for yesterday, which I did not take. I don't use time transformation in that way, but I could absolutely see a stab up to 60, no problem. So it's just like one of those things on when's the timing right?
Indeed, of course. We kid, of course. We're very, it's very much satire if we call ourselves bears or perma bears around here. But me, I'm a bit of a perma bull, right? I basically always long, always stack, never hedge. I've given up on that. I'm literally just perma bull. I'm ready to ride this.
Headache, man.
Indeed. In some cases, it indeed is. Sometimes the buy and hold strategy is suitable for people such as me who can ride it out. But then there's boss moves for guys like Jason who got their hands on the steering wheel of the portfolio, right? Let's see here. Prices are going to stay elevated due to tanking production worldwide. Indeed. It's going to be, I think we're going to see prices continuing to inflate while less and less goods and services are actually delivered to the economy. It's going to be ugly times. In fact, we are heading exactly into I feel like we're heading into the world described in Atlas Shrugged, where just economic conditions continue to deteriorate, competency continues to deteriorate. Especially right now, I think we're living in a very critical time. We really do deprecate the boomers a little too much, because the boomers really do keep kind of the lights on and society kind of running. There's just like a lot of boomers at parts of the industrial economy that you kind of once they retire, they go away. If there's not enough Zoomers trained how to work the industrial equipment at enough operations, that I can see how you end up at this Atlas Shrugged type of economy where there just isn't enough skilled people who work at all points, especially the industrial and service economy, right? That takes just a lot of work that goes into keeping warehouses running, the trucks loading, and goods and services moving. There's just so much goes on to the economy. I think people underestimate. This is why this idea that automation will fix it. Automation might be able to package Big Macs, but it won't necessarily keep refrigeration or the electricity running or the water flowing at the factories. You do need service people on the ground. That's just too complex of a job, too technical. So I think what we're gonna get elites and maybe the futurists selling us on this dream that we can do it all and fix everything with technology, but instead we'll just implode. We're gonna deteriorate the conditions of the economy, and we're just gonna lower the quality of life for most people, because the technology just isn't there. This is just like the pipe dream that you can replace current energy sources with like green new energy. It's like, what if it's just not there? What if there's not enough of it there? And in the end, all you do is stunt people's energy consumption and all that. But enough of a rant, enough of a digression here. We got to get out of here. We got to get into the next segment. People are here for the TA and nothing more. None of these comments on the wider goings on.
That's not true.
Jag077. I don't know how to get in touch with him. I haven't seen him on Discord yet. Oh. Mr. Ether and Jag. Mr. Ether, you have to add him to friends. He keeps his privacy settings quite strict, so if you try to DM him, it'll bounce back. So add him as a friend, and then you'll go from there. NFTs were about 800. Oh, CryptoCat spent about 8 bills. Not bad. That's not a bad way to spend one's McDonald's paycheck on the NFTs. I kid, of course. Not about you, of course. I'm sure lots of people are blowing McDonald's, paychecks on cryptos and Robinhood and NFTs. But
that's where 90% of the SHIB's coming from, is the McD bucks.
I'm telling you, dude, I'm gonna hang up the apron one day. You think I'm gonna be swinging these spatulas my whole life?
I didn't give you 2 more years of it.
I'm just gonna keep working from home till they make me go back to the office and force testing. Then I'll refuse and I'll get fired. Any word, yes, that's what I feel you. I know people in my family are in the same deal. They're fine, working corporate, from home for the last while, but the crunch time, they're starting to feel settling in. A lot of them employers are starting to say, we're gonna get you back in the office pretty soon. So what comes with that, and indeed, This is sad, but a lot of people will be forced to walk away. What a line in the sand, huh? Lambo Dreams, miss me with that real life. Yeah, I refuse. Lambo Dreams, absolutely based chap of the live chat. CryptoCats, Shiba Swap. Yes, Shiba Swap, exactly. They're gonna have their own decks. They're gonna do it big. They're gonna be SHIB. How you gonna? This is just like Bitcoin Connect, BitConnect. Yeah, BitConnect. We're going to take over the world, and if you're not drinking the Kool-Aid, then something wrong with you. Again, I'm not trying to bag too much on SHIB. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I've been frequently proven wrong in this space, so,
I don't think it's about being right. I think it's about noticing the trends and being able to find your way into them safely without wrecking yourself, right? Like, It's not... Trading isn't about being right. The more you do that, the more you bias your decisions off of what you're doing, the more you're more likely to wrap emotion up into it. Trading is not about being right. It's about making money.
I figure it's jumped into the top 10 coin market cap, so I mean it must have seen a lot of its exponential growth already, guys. A lot of people probably already got rich at it, so I feel like it's already such a late, it's so late into the game now that this is all risk. Somebody's already made wicked money.
Way too much risk. You can't buy the top gigantic green candles. I mean, if you stick with that method, I don't care if you've done it 5 times in a row. Keep doing it. Let's see what happens. You might get lucky, and hopefully there's some people out there that got lucky, realized they got lucky, and then used those gains to then learn how to risk manage, right?
Yep.
But that's not usually what you see.
CryptoCat says it has a lot going on, has an NFT release coming. I've been doing some research. I believe it. I believe that, just like, in fact, some project starts off as scams and they build out cool shit. So it's entirely possible that, we're making jokes about SHIB, but indeed it's going to go out to surprise us all. A big part of it's networking and marketing, and it's clearly got that. So who knows? Maybe a good idea to give SHIB a look for some people. But me personally, I think I'm going to live out the rest of my life not partaking of the SHIB, so I'm happy with that. Any word I could do the kick my own ass kicking strategy like the scene in the movie Fight Club? Okay.
There you
go. Jag070, would you please look up...
His name was Robert Paulson.
They left already too. I have Voltron. Mike Maker seems to be what's coming.
Different Megazord.
That's different Megazord indeed. CryptoBull21, let the Fed pump our bags. Indeed. Just got an email, Coinbase NFTs coming. NFTs are annoying. Well, it's probably just you don't get it yet. Once your NFTs
I'm even involved.
Yeah, once you make your first 10x off your NFT, I'm sure you will change your tune.
Yeah, pretty wild. Especially when you get to mint something for free and then you could just sell it for like $4 grand.
But in all seriousness, NFTs, they certainly have their application. I really getting into it as of late, and I defingoing see why NFTs have a certain use.
Digital universe, like I do think that we will with the way technology's going. There's going to be room for everything. So you're going to have your collectibles. You're going to have everything. I think everything will become some kind of digital market, whether it be through some metaverse on a video game or whether it be through traditional trading styles like we do now.
Let's see here. A couple more comments, guys. I do appreciate everybody hanging in there with us today. We're having an extra casual show today. We told you. CryptoBull21, Zoomer, lol, Gen Z, nice. Indeed. I mean, some of us are Gen Z, some of us are Gen X. Some even in the audience are probably straight up Zoomers. Jang077, the days of skilled craftsmen are going away. Yeah.
Actually, one of the things before I got into trading, I wanted to start up a nonprofit with all of the older boomers that I knew that had trade skills that were basically dying away, that they could come in and teach younger kids how to do, and then maybe they could interact with their parents a little bit rather than with their iPads. But
yes, I agree. That's a horribly neglected part of the economy. It's I think it's going to lead to disaster. I really think it is. These skills are extremely important.
In some senses, on this, Jack, where you get a little bit too crazy, in my opinion, on, well, if people don't know how to fix things or do things, then they do kind of get controlled by the people who make the products, right? So, that really does worry me about people being so goddamn stupid they can't even fix their lamp anymore.
Right, or just over specialization, right? It makes you vulnerable, right? Like, yes, it makes you great, like a cool high-tech high-tech economy, and that can deliver so many cool different things, but maybe it makes your civilization extremely
goddamn water heater,
extremely fragile, right? Something comes along that disturbs the fragile little arrangement you have here, and everything can kind of collapse, right? And you realize that really maybe the safest long-term strategy for human organization might be not to over specialize. But that's another conversation for another day, guys. This is about crypto gains and education. This is not here to digress into such wild tangents. But shout outs to everybody else in the live chat. Indeed, the world is changing. And I feel a lot of skills are disappearing with it. We have lazy kids that are smart challenged. Yeah, we have, but it's just the conditions that, I guess we've kind of made out for them. I don't know. It's humans lived a very rudimentary life, like everybody basically farmed. Everybody lived a very simple life for
thousands of years.
Exactly.
And we are the lucky ones that get to be right here in this time.
Yeah, but not just lucky, but just like post-industrial revolution, we're totally out of our element, right? Like really quickly. We spent millions of years doing it a certain way, and now suddenly like life is drastically different. We're not prepared
parabolic
for this.
Moves, man. You hope that we don't get a parabolic move down, right?
Exactly, a huge correction, right? Because we're kind of way out of our element, and that's probably why the kids are indeed lazy, and the parents, are overly protective, and we have the lifestyle that we live. We're just not like built for this, and humans.
I forget the saying. Let me think. I'll think on it here for a second. But there's a saying that talks about basically through the eras. Like, I'll have to think of it real quick.
No worries.
I don't want to botch it.
While you're doing it, hit the fire your.
I am live.
Oh, you are live. Right, well, he's already live, guys. Let's do it. Jason firing his stream off. I'm connecting right now. Thanks for everybody who waited. We appreciate it because today has been, well, extended. A little intro here, but we're finally getting into it. Gonna start adding your requests. Jason, you're live, big homie.
Yep. Well, here's this quote though, but it's an old quote, but it's hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times.
Ain't that
I
the
do
truth?
believe that we are in one of those, like, the good times era, to where now things are getting weak again, right? I do think that that's a cyclical thing.
Certainly is. And the question is knowing all this, how can one prepare or guard against it? Not so easy. All right, let me see here. I'm just getting a couple things on screen, guys. Let's do it. All right, that looks good. All right, Jason, you're on screen. Got the BTC.D daily chart, Bybit. We're all synced up. And
let's have some fun, why don't we?
Yep, do it.
All right, so getting into Bitcoin here, this is what I drew last Thursday on what my prediction of what price would likely look like. Looks like I pulled the trigger a little too soon on it. If I would have just scoot this down a little bit, it does appear that it could match. Not saying that this is what I think is going to be playing out, but I do think lower time frames look very interesting here. For I think that it can give us some levels on whether we want to stay into this bullish momentum, or whether we want to maybe look at either getting out of long positions for a pullback, or maybe even if it ends up dumping or not. But this pattern is one that I just snagged with the bar replay out of a pattern just like this. With these type of parabolic moves that you see, like right down here, I don't think it's silly at all to see them come back to test their support levels. I did chart out something here on the BitMEX chart that I wanted to show down on lower time frames. If we go down into the 4-hour time frame here, we can see this beautiful textbook ascending triangle. Kind of pissed at myself for not looking at this over the weekend, because this was mostly formed over the weekend. You had this nice little range in here between that 53,000 and 55 where we just bounced around. Beautiful ascending triangle play, which did itself play out its full take profit, which is where you make a measured move from the beginning of the ascending triangle, put it back above where the resistance was, and then you'll get your what your target would be for that pattern to play out, which we did get. So now I'm watching this throwback off of the completion, and I think it's important to make sure you're paying attention to this level here at that 55.5 range, because if we look at this, a lot of the times with ascending triangles, what you can get is you don't necessarily get the full completion of the pattern first. A lot of the times what you'll get is throwback. I do find this wick all the way down here, which only happened on BitMEX, down to 51,000, super interesting. because when I see stuff like this in my head, I think of like the composite man on White Coffee and Theory of like, if I had enough money, what would I do? I would just short that bitch down to where I'm thinking resistance would be, heavily enough to affect the market. I know that's going to get bought back up, and then I can look to reshort the top and take it back down to these levels that were protected, because they usually get tested more than once. We don't have this wick on anything else but BitMEX, but I do find this super interesting for now. But looking at the ascending triangle, what you really need to be paying attention right now to is that 55.5 range. If we break it below that significantly and close, I do think that we're likely to get some more sell-off here, which I think would be evidence of, if we look here at BC dominance, we are falling here after a nice wick up on dominance. I swear I was looking at it. Oh, I'm looking at futures. I'm sorry. I was like, that does not look like I remember. There we go. Looks like we did wick up all the way this line that I had marked out a while ago here, this resistance level at 46.69. A nice rejection off of that. In consideration to what the dollar is doing right now, the dollar just looks stronger and shit. That ascending broadening wedge that we're getting, it does appear that we're getting the throwback down onto old resistance come support. This is where you'd be looking for this to break. If it breaks this level, then you're likely to get that full completion down to lower levels, but it does appear super strong here. Yesterday's continuation signal playing out very well. Bitcoin's continuation signal from time transformation getting sold into quite immediately. Nothing to worry about, I would say, yet, but like I said, that level of 54 is super, super interesting. That, 55.5. I think that's really the spot to be watching here. I did grab okay, yeah. So this is another textbook, beautiful ascending triangle play that got throwback, but did not. What you'll see sometimes is throwback, wait for support, and then break of support, and then that would be the moment that you would look to take this to lower levels. That's where I'm thinking that 55.500 range. If we do get that break below there, close significantly, I think that would be a good shorting opportunity to take it possibly back down to that 51,000 range that we saw BitMEX scrape to. But that's why right now with this pattern and this pattern, as you can see, they're very similar. We have probably some sideways here, some consolidation to see whether we break up or down. So I think with that, we're likely to see whether we get this straight down. I don't think it'll happen that quick. I think that there'll be a little bit more time in here on whether we finally break up or down. That will be evidence when we see it. But I think with this going sideways, it will allow some of these alts to kind of get a little bit of a fire back into them to kind of catch up, because I do think that they look, the USDT pairs look kind of bottomed out, but at the same time not. Like we're looking at ADA here. We are getting some lower time frame reactions, higher lows. These haven't broke yet. Oscillators are giving us some nice take profit shorts, as well as turning over into what I would think is at least a little bit of a lower time frame bullish sentiment to a little bit higher. But if we look at these, like I was saying last Thursday, I do think that we could get these little pushes back up to complete their chart patterns from the broken pattern, the broken trends that we're seeing. So you see that broken trend coming down here and still utilizing this baseline, or this EMA right here. I believe this is the 100 EMA as some support. We're running out of momentum to the downside, so I mean, I'm hoping that it was the right decision to leave this trade open. But with Bitcoin dominance and the Dixie, the Dixie scares me a little bit, because you just never know. When the Dixie goes up, usually it crushes everything. We're not quite seeing that right now with Bitcoin. It seeming to want to do its own thing, which I think is cool of itself, but also worrisome when you start seeing things correlate that don't usually correlate. But looking at dominance and what we're getting sold into, whether this holds or not, this could be considered a 3-bar play if we do get this bought back up, but this is just something you're going to have to wait for to hold. I would say on Bitcoin dominance, look at that level 45.29. If we break back below there, I think it's going to end up being the same break of an ascending triangle. This is a completed triangle though, so it's not necessarily a failed pattern because it already made its full measurement. So we just need to kind of be cautious with Bitcoin here. If it does go sideways, I do think that we'll see a little bit of alt play catch back up maybe a little bit, but if we break down from here, I do think that we're going to come down there and test that 51 range that we saw. That BitMEX came all the way down here. I think that we're likely to see this pattern play out. A great 4-hour signal right here. One that I will check back in on in a couple hours. I don't know if I will specifically take it because I want to mimic good, safe decisions, because when we're above the baseline, I shouldn't be looking for shorts, because with the momentum that we've had, you could easily get slapped in the face again. So I just kind of want to be sure. I want to see some levels break that convince me that this is a broken pattern. That 55.5 I think would be a good level, but on lower time frames, we seem to be holding the ascending triangles, old resistance comes support. So I do think that we juggle around in here for a little while before we break either up or down. So there's time. So don't get all scared that you need to be making a decision right now. I think that right now the best thing is patience, because taking a long at this position doesn't look that hot, does it? I mean, look how badly you can get punished. I mean, it can easily happen. So I think it's best just to be patient here. Wait for some significant levels to break before we do anything. But I think that's a good on Bitcoin there. Ethereum, I think, does look kind of interesting. This continuation that I didn't end up taking because it closed below this resistance last week. It does look like we're coming down for a baseline bounce. And I would say that if this closes positive today, that you could likely jump into this continuation signal and still get that play. Because I think that you might get that last little dish effort to one more extension up, and then we get the breakdown. I've seen that pattern so many times, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. We are stuck under resistance here, so you'd have to wait for that. But a close back above this level today or within the coming days, I think that you could take this up to the next level. But nothing to do for now on that. DeFi perp, I mean, I'm not going to lie, they don't look great. But as Justin pointed out on the link signal that he took yesterday, it is a little concerning that we're getting some nice consolidation in these areas, to where we might not get that breakdown that he's looking for on that link signal. I think that if you look at link today, it is being bought back up currently from that 100 EMA. So I'm not really sure if these shorts are going to play out. As you can see yesterday, most of my shorts that I was looking at taking yesterday on stream got invalidated. This was an example of one. DeFi perp, there's nothing there. The water just not ready for me to take it, so kept me out of most of those. And it's also one of the reasons why I stayed into my ADA position rather than closing that and then trying to take another position on something that WADA isn't selling me. So we'll see whether that's the right decision or not, but I feel comfortable on being wrong on that if I have to, because I'm very minimally exposed at the moment. Dragon perp, I think all of these look very, very similar. As you can see, coming back down, they are making lower highs right now. So, I mean, sorry, higher lows. Currently, seems like everything's kind of bouncing off of its 100 EMA and using it as support for the moment. As I said, if Bitcoin goes sideways here, I could see these breaking back up. Give them a little bit of breath. Like I said last week, I do like this pattern, but it does appear that it's just not gonna. You would expect this wick up here not to get sold into as bad as it did. It actually continue up if this was going to be a little inverse head and shoulders break back up to this level. I still think you could see it, to be honest with you, but the charts just don't quite say it. Yet you have some earnings coming up here over the next couple days, whether those be bad or good. With the Dixie going up, you might see gold and silver here bleed out a little bit more. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Getting sold back into, I think the Dow Jones actually looks the strongest of the three, considering, because, yep, didn't even get back above your baseline on this and giving you a continuation short back. And I do like the confluence of the 200 EMA with this old resistance here. So I think that that could be a good target to look at if we do continue to break down here. But giving you a full continuation short on the daily, I do like that we've come up here and closed these gaps. So maybe we can get some more pressure to the downside on the QQQ, as well as the SPY. The SPY is giving a full signal today short, but WADA's not quite there, so you can't quite take this. The only one you could realistically look at taking, unless we get a heftier sell-off today, would be the QQQ on the continuation short. But again, looking at the dollar, I mean, the dollar just looks really strong here. And if you back it up to the weekly, even stronger. We just crested back over this, and now we're making a higher high from this continuation signal on the weekly. I don't think we stop until we get at least to $96. But then again, I could see us also come up to the top of this range here and tag 98. And what that looks like for the rest of the market, man, I don't know. If the dollar goes up that hard, I think traditionals are going to get crushed. I think everything's going to get crushed. I don't think Bitcoin could even hold what it's doing lately, but usually it is a little. I mean, why I'm blanking here. They're not usually correlated in the sense that they both go up at the same time, right? We've seen this for quite a while. Unless there's some kind of decoupling that happens, I don't think that that's going to continue to be the narrative for super long. But the dollar looks great here. There's nothing weak at all here. You're coming up on this final level of resistance here, and once it's through there, I think you're going to slice straight through to 96, and that could be very very volatile for definitely traditional markets, but it could have Bitcoin under 50K really quick, right? So I think it's something to be watching here, as well as lower time frames on Bitcoin, to see if those 4-hour trends start to reverse after that ascending triangle played out. You just kind of got to wait for that support at 55.5 to prove itself. But other than that, I think that we're good. That's a good coverage of the markets that I do. I mean, I don't usually get too in depth like Alex does into commodities and stuff like that, because I don't trade them, and I don't like to waste my energy on things that aren't directly helping me. Of course, chart patterns are chart patterns, no matter where you find them in what market. But I tend to stick with crypto, and it does well. So.
All right. Well, I do have some requests lined up. It's 10 after, so we might as well get into it. 20 minutes left in the show should give us plenty of time to knock out these requests. Shout out to Jason for knocking out a solid request segment today. Let me dive into the chat, start extracting. Well, I actually have a request here, so I'm going to announce them very shortly. Before I do, though, let's quickly put the first request up on screen. Let's start with that, and then we'll get into the next bit. Big shout outs to Robert Warner, Mr. Ether, in the live chat. He wants to look at a following traditional market stock, ticker symbol CGC.
Canopy Growth Corporation?
Oh yeah, smoke them if you got them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's quite the retracement off a nice parabolic run. What is that? Top bottom 78%, but let's go from the actual closing of it. So it's a little less than that. You are getting, it looks like about a 74% pullback on this. I will be honest with you, I do think that you're likely in for a little bit more downside on this to at least test this level here of that $10.22. Let's go over to see how historically long this is. Yeah, the same way that this tested here. Coincidentally, where I marked that, I went to the monthly, and you can see this little area of support that was resistance then. You popped all the way back up. Nice swing failure. Boom. 80% retracement from a parabolic move to I think that this likely has more downside, my friend. You could take a chance here and put a stop below that lower low, but with what the Dixie's doing and everything in the daily here, I don't think that this is necessarily the moment. You could, if you were feeling cheeky on catching a knife, but you still got another 26% down here to that level that I was talking about. And if the Dixie does begin to run the way that it appears that it is, everything's going to suffer, my friend. So picking this up here, especially on when you're getting crossovers on time transformation as well as Minx giving you that continuation short. I just don't think that this is the best time to be entering, even if it does end up being the right move. I think that you have a little bit more downside here before you get that break to the upside. So also just wait for those breaks of trends. You're parabolically breaking trends here. It's like the opposite of a parabolic move to the upside. And you just can't get any follow through on the breaks of trends. So you're just boom, parabolic, less parabolic, less parabolic. So yes, we are running out of steam here, but you need to be certain on the break. It's like that buy, cry, die mentality. Usually it's buy, cry, die, and then you usually see one more little lower low, which most people compare like to a white coffee in spring. It's usually around 4 in my experience, but I like it in the sense that it's a low risk entry for something that would be a longer term play. But I don't think that this is the moment that you want to ape into CGC. I think that you have a little bit more downside here. You are starting to go a little sideways, but I mean, take that with what you will. If you really like this, then wait for that break of trend to the upside and then take it and then put your stop loss below that lower low, or you could be a little wide with it and go with the lower low below this. So right in that $9 range, yeah, it would be a little bit of a hit to your account, but if you're playing this long term, drawdown's a part of the game.
Word. All right, well, there you have it, guys. There is your look at CGC USD. Shout out to Mr. Ether for that request. Let's get into the next one. I'm also going to prepare to open that DLive chest in about a minute. So, DLivians, get your lemons in now. That DLive chest comes your way in 60 seconds. Getting into the next request. Anyword wants to look at Epic.
Is that traditional or is that Epic Cash?
I think it's Epic Cash. It's a BSC coin, top trading pair on VDEX. Does that show up on your trading view? Epic Cash?
I got it on Uniswap with wrapped ETH.
Oh. Look like it's been around very long. Yeah, this looks like it's probably it. Not a lot of data there. Do let us know in the live chat anywhere. Is this the right Epic? Is this Epic Cash or are you looking for something else? Because there's not a lot of data here.
Looking at this chart, you could say that, yeah, we're down to a historical support here, but there's not enough data for me to tell if this is all of the data, right? So, like, we could have much lower lows here where this doesn't look strong at all. I just don't think there's anything you can do here with it. You're trying to catch a knife at this point. Is there any way I can find any more data on it?
Maybe if we got a coin trader. But no, this is... Yeah, maybe try here. Yeah, this is a BSC token after all. Maybe it'd be on here.
Chardex doesn't seem to have anything. I don't know why I can't get Chardex to search for anything lately.
Well, Anyword. I wish we could kind of give you more. Hold on, let me take a look. Let me take a look here. I don't want to let Epic down. Let me see.
But I mean, looking at this, what is this movement? I don't even know. Looks like it's lost 80% of its value from a parabolic run. I mean, with the way the rest of the markets are looking, I don't necessarily know if this is something that I want to take a stab at. But if you're looking for a longer term, I mean, I'm never gonna discount you for waiting for 80%.
Yeah, it's not all the data there, dude. I'm looking at a CoinMarketCap. There really isn't probably any point to mention much on this one. I wish we could, well, this is Epic Cash Anyword. Maybe it's not the right one. But with that said, I wish we could take a closer look, but at the moment, not a lot of data here. Seems like a very obscure coin. We'll give it a look at another opportunity. In the meantime, let's keep the ball rolling. I also promised the people of the DLive that I'm going to open that chest. Okay, now I'm going to go open that chest in 30 seconds. ETH1, can we look at Kusama, please? All right, Kusama's up. DLive chest opens 30 seconds.
Kusama looks like the rest of them here. You're just going to have to wait and see. Couldn't take it. Water just not quite there. I do like the rising explosion level. But again, with the rest of these charts, it appears that this 100 EMA really is holding support. This old resistance back here now becoming that support for it to come down. We just have to wait for a break of that. There's nothing you can do here. At least for my system, and I'm not going to take signals that aren't giving me the full signal itself. You only put 10 lemons in there, by the way.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm not 10.3, baby.
Oh my god, I put 300 something in the hell. Oh my god, apparently
I'll probably win this one if that's all you put in.
Sorry guys, I could have sworn I must have pressed the wrong button after I typed in 300 something lemons. Let me try this one more time. Okay guys, I apologize for the 10 lemon giveaway. I just dropped a proper 360 lemons in the chest. We just gotta wait 10 minutes for it to reset. So hang tight for another 10 minutes. I apologize. I swear I did attempt to put the lemons in the thing. I must have misclicked submit. With that said, do you have further thoughts on Kusama? Sorry, I was lemon.
Kusama here, it's one of those ones that you're going to have to be patient with. I wouldn't suggest taking a position on it today. I mean, this does very well mimic the link position that Justin took out yesterday. But again, like I said, I don't know with this lower time frame consolidation on whether we're going to break this or not. It's another thing that I would wait for a specific close below that 100 EMA, or I mean, if you want to wait a little bit lower, like that 304 range where we just wicked off of, that's getting bought into right now. The daily, there's nothing you can do, but I mean, if you wanted to go down into lower time frames, it does appear that we're getting some let's see here. You could consider this a weak Class C bullish divergence from here to here, and then it's straight across, but I don't like it that much. But we are getting a reversal signal here on the 4 hour, so nothing to do there. Like I said, wait for these levels to see if they hold or not, and then you'll know. I think this is the time to do nothing. If this breaks to the upside, you don't want to be short it, and if it breaks to the downside, you don't want to be long it. So I think it's time for it to let it figure out its range and then show you where it's supported and where it's not.
Right there is your look at Kusama. Big shout outs to ETH1. Let's go ahead and get it to the next request. Probably just a few minutes to go for that chest, right? Lambo Dreams on DLive. Omisa Go, please. Also, let's look at Monero weekly cup and handle. All right, let's start with Omisa Go. Give OMG a good shake.
Monero. Oh, OMG first. Monero. I wanna live this life, boy. Well, this is interesting. I don't enjoy that there's literally no WADA coming in off of this movement. Nice break of the trend on the daily. WADA just keeping you out of this. This would be a full signal. I don't think it's going to end up happening by the end of the day. Then you're likely to either get a sell-off here or go sideways. I don't think that this just keeps ramping straight up. It's with this kind of movement, you don't usually see WADA that empty, man. So whether you'll have to wait till the end of the day, maybe something goofy happens where it sells off real quick and then gets bought back super hard and then WADA's there. I mean, I've seen that happen before, but this would be a good signal. Let me see here. Let's just see what we can look at. Coming off here, bouncing off of this level. Nice. I bet the weekly looks pretty strong. Yeah, I think that we likely, with the weekly giving you this take profit long, of course, we have quite a few more days in the week. I think the right thing to do is sit out of this for now, unless you do end up getting that full signal from WADA, which I really doubt you're going to get at this point. Some beautiful bullish divergence off of that. If you look right here, boom, boom. But I mean, as the chart, it looks strong. The weekly looks pretty strong. I think it's likely to go sideways here a little bit. If not, sell back down to some of these ranges. The top of this, which would appear to be a large inverse or ascending triangle right there. Boom, you get your throwback back down to here. Then you get continuation. I think that this does look strong. The daily, it's just not giving me the WADA that I need. But other than that, it would be a full signal on the daily, but nothing I can do with it without WADA giving me the go ahead there. So
all right.
So basically, for those of you who don't use WADA, basically it gives me the hint that there is enough gas in the tank, there's enough momentum to take this up to at least my first take profit zone, which would be 1 ATR above where current price is. which is one of the reasons why I like some of these setups sometimes when we sell back down a little bit lower than where we have that original resistance. And then you usually can see at least a nice correlation with another wick to the upside snagging that TP1, and then you move your stop loss to break even. If you get the break to the upside, that's great, but if not, you get the reversal and stop out at break even, still making money, and then being able to get back into the trend if it starts to reverse to the downside. But OMG does look good. Not enough WADA here for me to take it on the daily, but if you're in it, there's no reason to exit it at this point.
All right. That would be OME's go. Solid look at that one. Monero, weekly cup and handle. Let's pick up the pace. We got a little time left now. Still a decent.
Oh, how are we only this far in? Damn.
I know. Well, it's because you're being extra generous today with your analyses. But Monero, cup and handle, weekly. What are your thoughts?
Weekly cup and handle. I mean, I don't dislike this chart. I really don't. Nice levels here. This was the old range, and it does appear that we are breaking above that and now becoming support. I don't hate this chart at all. We did get a signal right here. This must have been on a weekend because I don't know why I wouldn't have taken it. It's nice close tight to the 13 EMA, and then you would have gotten probably through all three take profits. Nope, just through two of them. You'd hit two take profits. And then it looks like we're getting a little bit of support here. I think that you'll probably see evidence of that on lower time frames. Let's go. 4 hour. Yes, it does appear that the 4 hour in 2 hours will be giving you a long signal. You'll have to wait till that closes because WADA is not completely giving you the go ahead quite yet, but still quite a bit of time left in that candle. So I think that honestly, XMR looks good here. Nothing to do on the daily.
How about that weekly?
The weekly.
Yeah, weekly cup and handle.
Yeah, I get what you're saying here. It's not something that I actively trade, but it does appear if you get this weekly break above, a nice actual long signal. Oh, WADA wasn't quite there. But I haven't back tested the weekly too much, but it does appear to be a good signal. Any kind of break above that 315 range is going to be game on, I think. And then you're likely to take that at least up to that 394 range. But I don't dislike this chart. I don't. This is nice march up. I think that this is you had an ascending wedge that did the thing like the Dixie's doing right now. It came back down and tested halfway through and then really shot back up through there, gave back down to here to this resistance on the weekly. I don't think that this is a terrible spot to be looking for that break to the upside. Basically studying the daily here, waiting for that trend break and then taking it back to the upside. You'll likely get a continuation signal out of this on a time transformation cross above zero. So give it a few days, but XMR doesn't look terrible here. I actually like it a lot. Let's look at XMR BTC real quick. I know all the BTC pairings are looking like shit, but we are seeing a little bit of reaction today with this Bitcoin dominance kind of getting sold into as well as Bitcoin. So I think that we're going to see this across the market. Like I said, give the alts a little bit of time to breathe again, depending on how sideways we go.
All
but
right.
XMR, I do think looks good.
All right, there's Monero. Lambo Dreams did say you're looking at the handle, zoom all the way out. I did see him zoom all the way out at some point on the weekly, so I think he gave it a good look.
I did.
Let's go ahead and get into CryptoCats' request. I mentioned SHIB swap. All right, let's give SHIB a shake. Very, very quick look at SHIB because we do got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. I got to open that chest.
Nothing to do with SHIB here. Had a great blast off here. If anything, you should be getting out of positions. It's giving you a take profit long here 2 days ago. And if you're trying to look a gift horse in the mouth, it's a better exit now. You're getting 3 consecutive get outs on time transformation as well as momentum is just dying off. SHIB could go sideways here a little bit, but I do think that it's in for some downside. I think that this run is going to, I think that with everything else will probably go up a little bit. I assume that SHIB will likely get sold into, but I could be wrong. Nothing to do here though. I would never advise someone buy this at this level right now. It could keep going straight parabolic, but it's just never a good idea to enter after this many moves to the upside.
Indeed. All right, there is a look at SHIB. Let's go ahead and get into dots. We got the old Pokey Dot up next. Jag077 on D-Line. Could you take a look at Polka Dot?
To be honest with you, I don't like this chart. This continuation would have been a good play right here to get you up to TP1 and then right under resistance. But other than that, with this failing to achieve here, you'll have to wait to see if you can get any kind of continuation, whether this ends up being like a 3-bar reversal and then we get more play to the upside. But I think that this looks like it's trapped under resistance for sure here. So nothing to do with DOT at the moment. But like I said, it's kind of curious how you see other things hanging out near their 100 EMA, but DOT seems to be getting a little bit more. So maybe it did get the movement that I was thinking the rest of those got from when we went sideways here. It actually got that press up to its old resistance here, and now it's getting sold into. So maybe ones like this and SHIB you'll see sell off, and other ones like ADA and possibly even XMR get a little bit of a push to the upside. But
Cool.
nothing to do here. I think that you're under resistance.
All right, there is your look at DOT, guys. We're going to head into a little bit of overtime in order to accommodate some more requests. In the meantime, that D-Live chest is going to open. Well, probably by the time you hear this message, I'm clicking that distribute button in 5 seconds. In the meantime, next request up. We have Omizago, SHIB, which we just did, but Solana for Crypto Cats. Here comes the D-Live lemons. Get ready.
Okay, so looking at Solana, must have gave this on Sunday. Yep, it did give this on Sunday. This is a full short signal. I do believe Justin was in a group signal that did wick down here and hit TP1. But with where this is sitting, I don't like this taking this entry. Maybe I'll wait and see what kind of price reaction we get off the 13 EMA and maybe snag a better entry on this short. But as for now, I think that this looks weak. Much like those other ones that are bouncing off their 200 EMA. Sol had a very nice parabolic run, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see a little bit more downside to come down and match possibly around this level. Let's just see. I could see it coming down to the 200 EMA here. So maybe with this, if we don't close above the 13 EMA today, there might be a chance that I take this signal back from Sunday. With a little bit of a better entry, but we'll just have to see what kind of close we get, because if we get a close above that 13, then we'll likely get some kind of wick to the upside. But Sol looks like a short here.
All right, there was your look at Solana. Big shout outs to today's lemon giveaway winners. We have, oh boy, where did it go? Uh-oh, I lost it. It was Golden Miner taking the first place prize. And, well, I neglected to keep track of the other winners. Big shout outs to everybody else who got a lemon today. I think Crypto Cats was among them, and a few other homies. So, thank you guys for participating. That said, we're going to run a little later in today's show. Jason, you got a few extra minutes to spare? You want to knock out a few more requests?
Why not? Let's have
I hate letting people just hang. You know, we did indulge extra bit of time in the beginning of the show. Let's get into the next request. AAVE for Xavier.
AAVE looking pretty weak here, to be honest with you. This is when I was looking at shorting yesterday, but I just never ended up getting that WADA confirmation that I needed, which appears to be the right idea as of now, because it's getting bought back up, that we're kind of seeing market wide there on some of these alts. Just not enough there. You're coming back down and testing this level and wicking off of what is a higher low here. Could be a inverse head and shoulders playing out on higher time frames, maybe even possibly the weekly there. Yeah, you could be getting a little inverse head and shoulders play right here. Wait for this level to see if it holds, but WADA kept us out of the short here, so nothing to do as of now, but it does look weak. I'm not going to say it looks strong. It's below all of its EMAs here. So maybe even a test, if it does decide to give, you might even of those levels of possibly around 188 and 237. AAVE doesn't look super strong here, I'll be honest, but it's not a signal that I can take. Take a look at EOS.
EOS up next. Lambo Dream saying I got rugged by the lemon chest. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Well, this I do like. It does appear that it's holding these levels here from past. It's going to be something that we're going to have to take a look at, but it is giving me a full signal short on EOS today. Right below the 200 EMA. Whether that ends up being support or not, we'll have to wait till the end of the day, but it could end up being another signal like yesterday, how I had like 6 or 7 signals, and then by the end of the day I had 0. So whether we get a little bit of price movement to the upside here and either close above the 13 EMA or WADA just won't be there. But we might be able to possibly take a short on EOS here. And I would like to take it down to this level here where you see this other bounce off support, almost a lot like you saw on AAVE there. But AAVE seems to have made more of that movement to the downside. So there might be a good opportunity to snag a quick, at least TP1 from this short. We'll just have to wait till the end of the day. I'm putting it on my list for sure. So EOS could be a full short at the end of the day.
All right. Jose Alves joins us in the YouTube live chat. Big shout outs to you. There is your look at AAVE and EOS for Xavier. Getting to at least another request. We're going to take a little bit more time today. Philly Car, how about the cotton chart looking? I got my fingers burned on a re-entry today. All right. Cotton. What's going on with cotton?
It does appear that you're getting that sell-off to test that support, that resistance come support, which is nicely coinciding with your 13 EMA here. Nothing to quite do as of yet. If anything, if you were in it before, a nice 3 white soldiers pattern here, likely to get tested, I think, on throwback. This is actually a nice ascending triangle play on the weekly. If you look at it from here to here, boom, which did play out beautifully. Would not be shocked at all if you see some throwback to come back down here and test that $89 range in here, much like you're seeing with Bitcoin and everything else. That ascending triangle kind of throwing back on them. I think that's the right move, and if the weekly closes like this, you're going to be getting some bearish divergence. Some pretty clear bearish divergence.
Well, cotton cash may not be the correct.
I think it's just CFD of cotton.
Oh. All right. Is it?
Let's just see. Yeah, they all look the same.
Okay. Fair enough. As long as they are charting much in the same way.
Yeah, they're charting exactly the same way.
Yes, they are. Yes.
But yeah, I think that with the way that this has already played out, you have got hitting your target on cotton. So I mean, beautiful play, a textbook. But I think that you are likely to see some throwback here to test this old level. Some would consider this a test of it, but with that parabolic move to the upside, I wouldn't be shocked if we trade sideways and down here to ultimately come back and test that level before you either get continuation or a breakdown. Let's just see, CT2.
Yes, sir. CT2.
I'm just seeing, I saw Philly there comment,
Gotcha.
CT2.
Gotcha.
There you are. It's basically the exact same chart, my friend. So, I mean, nice push up here. Let's look at the monthly. I mean, that looks like kind of like a doji on the monthly to me, doesn't it? So I would be and this actually coincides very well with that throwback that I would be expecting down to this level, which is historical resistance come support now. I think that with the way that this monthly is looking, of course, we have a half a month to go, but it looks like this might be a blow off top on cotton. So do with that with what you will. If you're in it, I would suggest taking some profit.
All right.
If you weren't using that measured move as a take profit, then I would definitely be taking some profit here.
All right, we got a question coming in from Sweet Canary on YouTube. Hey, do we wait for December to buy alts? Question mark. Should we sell our alts right now? Is alt season only next May? Thank you very much. All right, so what are your thoughts on alt season? I thought the alt season was still...
that's hard to really tell, man. I mean, we don't really know what's coming. Like, whether Bitcoin keeps pressing up, I think that alts will ultimately bleed out, and then on slight recovery, or not, like retracements from Bitcoin, like larger retracements, let's say if we go up and hit 65, come back down to 58, during that dip down to 58, I think that alts will get a chance to really spread their wings, but I just don't know when that happens, man, because if everything bottoms, everything's going to bottom. So, like, if we get that large, like, March meltdown type sell-off, it's just going to take everything with it. And then at that point, you should be looking to buy when everyone's scared and then wait for the next alt season. But as for when the next alt season is, I mean, it could be tomorrow, man. Like, if Bitcoin decided to hold this level, go sideways, and then a bunch of things pump into the alts, and then Bitcoin makes another leg up, and then it kind of goes in tandem with each other. But like I said with the Dixie, I worry about that narrative being wrong, and we get that large sell-off that takes everything down with it. So, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be looking for an alt season when the fear and greed index is so greedy at the moment, but it's not usually something that I use in my analysis anyways, but it does correlate nicely with when we're starting to see topping in a bull market or bottoming in a bear market.
Yeah, I mean, generally, if you do want to position yourself for the long term in alts, it's usually those 80%, 90% retracements, the bloodbath in the carnage that you want to pick up. So,
like I said earlier, I'm never gonna fault you for buying an 80% correction, but I'm here to tell you, it's not always just an 80% correction. Sometimes it's way worse. So take that with that what you will, but like buying an 80% correction, I don't think is a terrible move. Depending on your time frame, right? If you can stomach the drawdown and you're doing it correctly with stops in place, then it's likely a right move.
Let's go ahead and get into the next request. Philly car. All right, so we already looked at car. Whoops, on's done, and we did look at this request. And now let's get into Lambo Dreams wants to look at NKN.
I mean, I don't necessarily hate this chart. You haven't broken any trends yet. Oh, this is the weekly. Sorry. Let's look at this. Yeah, still haven't broken any trends. I mean, you could use this one, but coming right there, it does appear that we're getting close to that. Nothing to do as of now. I do like the if you look at this range right here, I do like that we're staying within this and actually closing back above it. If you get a close back above this, it would likely give you a continuation signal on, it's like this long, but WADA wasn't there to give it to you. I think that this might turn into a very strong chart. As for now, there's nothing that you can do with it, but it's bullishly posturing itself, I think, with the unnatural volume coming back in to buy it back up after this dip to hit the 13 or the 200 EMA, and then in closing back above the 13, likely get a continuation signal on this tomorrow. So it's something to look for. But this chart doesn't look bad. I mean, we do have some nice levels here that are being defended. So definitely, I don't think it looks terribly weak. You did get a... Nope, never mind. You wouldn't have got it there. Sorry. I think NKN, I mean, once it does pop, I think you're likely to take... if you're just going to play levels, you're likely to hit this level for sure, in my opinion. That 82 cents. Which would be a 2x for sure. So take that with what you will, but not time to get into it yet. But if you're a long-term holder, I wouldn't be too sad at holding here. If we do get that sell-off like the rest of them, then it could get bloody all the way down to that 7 cents range, man. So I guess, yeah, just take that with what you will. This is a historical point of support here that has not been completely tested, but you are getting levels here that have been defended. So wait for it. Could shape into a beautiful swing play all the way up to what maybe end up as a swing failure, but definitely some profit in there.
All right, beautiful. There is a look at NKN over on Binance. Let's get into one of the last requests of the day. Appreciate everybody hanging in there. Cardano, David Rice. What's a good re-entry?
The one that I chose not to close out yesterday. WADA just didn't give me what I needed, and as I was stating with these 100 EMAs, I do like how we're consolidating within these. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw another surge to the upside, so I'm kind of playing that as of now. I'm willing to be wrong on it, but I couldn't take that full short, so I didn't want to commit to getting out of that position to try to take that if it's not giving me a legitimate signal. So we'll just have to wait on this. Depending on how the day closes, I'll think about whether I close it or not. But as of now, we could keep seeing some of that buying pressure to the upside on some of these alts. So take that with what you will, of course, but I like that this level has been defended pretty hard. But if it does break, then we're likely to see these levels of 155 and 131.
All right.
Nothing to do as of right now.
All right, big shout outs to David Rice for that look at Cardano. We only have a couple of requests left now. Profit Bear, can we look at the new traditional stock? It's called Vulcan VLCN. It's a new electric vehicle company for off-roaders. All right, VLCN on traditionals, pretty new, pretty damn new.
Not enough data here. You are getting some bullish divergence on lower time frames, as you can see here. Flat support being held, and oscillator coming way down into oversold. So, I mean, you could get a reaction off this, but that's a complete guess, my friend. This is way too new.
Way too new. Well, good luck on their electric vehicle adventure. Not much more to add. I am going to speed this along just because we got to get out of here in a moment. Last request of the day, David Rice, Coles, K-O-H-L-S. Got it.
Oh, it's KSS. That's what it is. Okay. To be honest with you, when I just first glanced at this, it's very choppy, but this looks like a swing failure in my opinion. I think that you're likely to come back down here, first test this level, and then likely put in either a lower low. I think that it'll likely end up looking like a upside down ascending triangle. I don't think that this looks very awesome for Coles, to be honest with you. This is, I think, looks pretty negative, and if the rest of the market decides to take a tank, I think that Coles will likely go with it. Nothing to do here at all. To be honest with you, when I look at this chart, I think that this is going to end up getting sold into pretty roughly, at least down to that 894 level. But I think that you'll likely languish sideways here, if not sell off. Nothing to do with Coles. If you have it, I wouldn't want to keep it in my portfolio here.
Well, Coles is in the bag. Big shout outs to David Rice for the last request of the day. Jason, that's it. We're done. We went the extra bit. Some serious overtime for a change on the show, but we had fun. It was a real casual day. We kind of had fun in the first half of the show. Jason really going through some charts in detail. So shout outs to Jason. Alex, are you out there? We missed you, buddy. Come on back. But otherwise, yeah, big shout outs to everybody in the audience. It was a pleasure. Tuesday's in the bag. Time to get out of here. Wednesday installment comes your way tomorrow. Look forward to that. Not much more to add. Jason, any final words before we wrap things up?
Like I said at the beginning of it, if you're focusing on Bitcoin, I think you need to be paying attention to that 4-hour support that's sitting there at that 55.5 range. Because, I mean, not just a little close below it. We can always get bought back up, but let it play with it a little bit to see whether because I think that we'll likely swing back and forth sideways for a little bit, then get a straight sell-off. But if we do get that sell-off, be watching that 55.5 range, because that could be the moment to either tell you to get out of your long position or take some profit, or maybe even start setting up that lower time frame short position, because as you can see on lower time frames on the 4-hour, this is a pretty good tested system that I have on the 4-hour, and it is giving me a full signal, which is don't like that it's right there on the support, but I might take this because you could get that wick to the downside, much like you saw on that BitMEX wick down to 51, and I would love to be in the right position to take that. So
beautiful.
Going to be watching this signal on the 4-hour, but other than that, not very exposed to the market right now, guys. Sometimes this takes a couple of weeks to really get that direction, because when you zoom out on the weekly, like, yes, we could keep going, but we absolutely could get sold into. And getting sold into, there's a lot more room on the table, and it's one of those reasons why I really think that that mid 20 range will be tested sooner rather than later. So
Indeed. All right.
I just don't know yet, guys. But if I get the signal to start going long on the daily, I'm gonna have to start long until I'm wrong, right?
Here you go, guys. There's an extended look at Jason's thoughts. That is Bitcoin and how Jason tends to play it. We'll wait and see. But guys, can't thank you enough for kicking it with us today. We will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, do check out that premium.krakencryptocurrency.com for all our education and other premium offerings. I'll tell you more about it tomorrow. In the meantime, I really got to dip. I'm out of here. It's been fun. Almost 2 hours. Thank you again, guys. Love you all. Be back on Wednesday.
Trade safely, guys.
Peace.
Goodbye.